I am back. Welcome to Boots on the Ground. We have a slightly different time here. It's 2 o'clock Montana time. And I am going to talk to you today about our grooming tools. You've seen us brush the horses. You've seen the kids love on and brush the horses, but you might not know exactly what we're using. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of what we use to groom horses. So I took a picture of a sample of everything we've got. And we have several of each because we're grooming horses more than one at a time. And I have to say I'm not a big groomer. I don't like it very, very much. And I don't know why. Maybe because as a kid my horse had to be spotless for horse shows. And so, at 3 in the morning when you're 10 years old grooming a horse, I think maybe the fun went out of it for me. Something that Ann Perkins did a week or so ago when she was here with the Giddy Up girls is she asked them to groom their horses like a tea ceremony, where you stay very much in the present moment and you attend to every detail and you enjoy it. And I'm going to try to do that. I think it would be a really nice way to bond with your horse and to kind of get into the groove with your horse. So I'm going to give that a shot. What I'm going to show you first are the body brushes we have. Body brushes come in many, many kinds and styles. Stiffness of the bristles, length of the bristles, the size, diameter of the bristles. Believe it or not, there are people who really know what they want for which purpose. I like to use I think it's called a flicker brush. Long, medium stiff bristles, and you just do this and you flick the dust and dirt off. I like that one. There are some that have shorter bristles and you just gently go over the horse and get the surface dirt off. You have really stiff ones, which are good for getting mud off, mud, manure, things like that. My personal favorite and Doc's personal favorite is the face brush. It's very small, fits in the palm of your hand, and the bristles are very, very soft. And I love actually brushing horses' faces with that. It feels like a gesture of nurturing and love and caretaking, and so I like that one. I don't know that there is, honestly, I don't know if it matters that much what you use. It depends what you really want them for. They're not that helpful in the winter when your horse has a 1 inch or 1 inch winter coat. I don't really care about getting mud off and grime off because it's actually insulating in the winter. The next thing I want to show you is what we use for the manes and the tails and the feet. The blue comb with the teeth missing, that's a standard mane and tail comb. You can also use a hairbrush, a human hairbrush. As you can see, I think it's red in the picture. That's nice to go through. The silver comb there has a comb and a hook in the end. That's actually specifically for braiding horses' manes and tails. For the show ring, for example, you brush out the mane so it's nice and smooth. And what you would do is, if you're braiding a horse, is you pull their mane to make it even. Pulling a mane is literally pulling the hair out. They don't have enough nerve endings at the end of the hair follicle to feel when you pull it out. So you start at the bottom and you find the longest pieces of mane. You take the comb and you thin it out until you have 4 or 5 of the longest pieces. You wrap it around your finger and you yank. And that's actually how you shorten a mane. What it does, it doesn't reduce the thickness, it reduces the length. And then you braid it, and the hook of the comb is for dividing the hair. It's also for reaching into your braid and pulling the yarn through so you can tie up tie up the braid. We could do a braiding demonstration. I can braid manes pretty well. I cannot braid tails. I'm pretty sure we have someone, I think Katie, new Katie, can braid a tail pretty well. There are actually people who do that for a living around the show circuit. They travel around to English horse shows braiding manes and tails. The next bunch of grooming tools that I can show you are curry combs. The rubber curry comb is good for, you go in quick, pretty deep circles, and that brings the dust up to the surface. And then you take your body brush or your flicker and you brush the dust off. The round metal, I imagine that's called a curry comb. I'm not sure, actually. That's good for mud and manure. Just be careful around using things like that on the legs and in the flank area of the horse. The flank is the place pretty much below the horse's hip bone, where the hair goes in two different directions. That's called the flank of the horse. It's very sensitive. So even with a soft brush, you want to be very gentle there. The long metal band, which is connected at the handle, is called a shedding blade. One side has teeth, the other side doesn't have teeth. The side that doesn't have teeth you use as a sweat scraper. If your horse is very sweaty, you can use that side to get rid of the excess sweat. Also, if you have bathed your horse, the smooth side will let you get the excess water off the horse, all over, really. And so, I'm sorry, we have new Megan here. I'm on camera, so I'll be right there. The shedding blade sweat scraper connects at the handle, but you can take it apart, so you scrape it away. I think also what I have for you are the brush and the curry comb that's tied together. That's for kids, so they can put the rope around their neck and they have both with them. They don't have to walk back and forth. They have everything they need at the same time. Something I forgot to tell you though, show you, is the hoof pick. The hoof picks I like have a brush on it as well, so we call it picking feet, getting the mud, the manure, the rocks out, and then with the brush side, you brush like that, and the foot's clean. We don't, as a matter of course, we don't clean feet at Dunrovin because the horses are on the trail so much, and they go over quite rocky terrain that the dirt packed in their hoof protects their feet from sharp rocks, uneven surfaces where they're going over things that are sharp and that could damage their sole. I believe, as far as grooming, that's what we use. I can't think of anything else that you may have seen us do that isn't covered by that. Sometimes you see us use fly spray. I believe that flies bother us humans more than they bother the horses. But it is possible for the horses to get a little eye infection from flies. They can also get irritated if they can't get the flies off in time. For instance, Crow has a very sparse appy tail, and he can't get to his flies. So I like to keep him, plus I spoil him, but I like to keep flies off of him. Fly spray doesn't work really well on horse flies, and which are those big, awful things, and their bite hurts like crazy. Mickey and Ben are especially annoyed by horseflies. They will freak out if they get bitten by those. So brushing the horse's coat, mane and tail sometimes, picking feet sometimes, and using the shedding blade in the spring, of course, and the other side, the sweat scraper, when we want to get the excess water off our horse. That's what you see us do before a ride and before a lesson. And I hope that fills you in a little bit on what our day is like at the ranch. Thanks for tuning in with me. I will next see you tomorrow, 10:10 in the morning, Montana time. I am going to introduce you to the newest member of the Dunrovin team here. I'm doing lots of research on him. I love to learn and I love doing research, and I will have lots of visual aids for you. Sorry, Jake. That'll pop up on your screen while I talk about the newest guy here. It's a beautiful day. I could sit out here all day. Appreciate you joining me today. We will see you tomorrow at 10:10. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.